why. I really hope we can continue. Okay, so sometimes things are above our ability.
I am listening.
Okay, so we have the argument in the Gemara about fish that were cooked in a meat pot, as the exact example we brought, and can we eat it together with something called kutach? Kutach was a dish that had milk inside it. Can we eat this fish together with the dish called kutach that had milk inside it? There's an argument, Rav forbidden to eat it, and Shmuel permitted to do it. And the halacha later on the Gemara says the halacha is like Shmuel, which means noten ta'am, ba noten ta'am is mutar, it's permitted. When we have two transmissions of taste, we can eat it together with milk. Okay, so this is the basic of all of the class we'll learn in the next probably 20 minutes. Noten ta'am, ba noten ta'am, mutar, when we have two transmissions of taste from the meat to the pot, and then from the pot to the fish, we can eat it afterwards together with milk. An important thing we should know, all of this class does not apply to spicy food. That's a class on its own. Hopefully we'll discuss it in a different time, but this class does not apply when we use spicy foods. And also an important definition of noten ta'am ba noten ta'am is that we have two transmissions before we get to any questions, so any problems, okay? In our example, we cooked fish inside a meat pot, so we have a transmission of taste from the meat to the pot. There's no problems in that, it's kosher. And then from the pot to the fish is parv, there's no problems there. And after we have two transitions of taste, only then comes the question, can we eat the fish with milk, okay? When we have already in the second transition of taste, we have a problem, so that might be a problem. An example for, we cook inside a meat pot, we cook inside milk, okay? So the first transition of taste is from the meat to the pot, but on the second transition, from the pot to the food, we already have a problem since it is milk. It's already mixing meat and milk together. Okay, so noten ta'am ba noten ta'am, the definition again is two transitions of taste that and the first transition and the second transition, there's no problem of kashrut, everything is fine. Only then we ask, can we eat it with milk, or the opposite? Okay, so what is the exact case in the Gemara and the halacha we learn from it? There's three opinions. I'll go over them very, very fast on the opinions because I want to get to the Shulchan Aruch and the Rama. Why we learn the opinions, so I'll say a bit what the Rama or the Shulchan Aruch, what the apostle like the halacha. Rashi or the Rivan, his grandson, they are the most strict about it. And they say, no. Not every fish that was cooked inside a meat pot can be eaten with milk. Okay, they're very strict. It's not cooking in a pot. According to their opinion, cooking really transfers taste, especially as we mentioned last time in the olden pots or in sometimes plastic or some of the heavy iron pots we have today. You can really feel the taste or taste it moving. So they say, no, it's not being cooked. If it went into a fleshik plate, even if it was hot, then you can afterwards eat it with milk. Okay, so they say, if it was cooked, so the cooking transfers the taste. If it only came up on a fleshik container, a fleshik meat dish, okay, on a meat plate, so then there is no problem. Okay, so according to them, if it was really cooked inside a meat pot, we cannot eat it with milk itself. We can eat it on a dairy plate, but we can't eat it with dairy itself. That's the most machmir opinion, and the Rama prefers to go by this opinion, at least lechatchila. The Rosh, we'll mention him in one sentence, and then we go to the next opinion. He says there's a difference between something which is cooked and something which is maybe fried or grilled. Grilled is more severe, we are more machmir about it. Cooked, we are more lenient, and if the fish was cooked together with water in this meat pot, so we can eat the fish with milk. And then, now we're going to the third opinion, and here we'll spend a bit more time on it, a few more seconds more, since it's the Rashba and most of the Rishonim, and that's also how the Shulchan Aruch, that's how he holds for the halacha, and the Rama takes also this opinion a bit. Okay, so Rashba and most of the Rishonim, they hold as follows. Okay, they hold there's no difference if it was cooked, grilled. Okay, it doesn't matter. As soon as we have two transitions of taste before any problem appears, so there's no problem at all. Okay, so if we take an example from our life, if we cook pasta inside a meat pot, no problem, take the pasta afterwards and it can be eaten with milk without any problem. Obviously, it can be eaten on dairy equipment, okay? And there's no problem at all. It's considered parv. This pasta is considered parv. Obviously, we don't have to wait 6 hours before we eat it. Before we eat milk, it's totally parv. Okay, that is the opinion of the Rashba and most of the Rishonim. And the reason is the taste already, when it has so many transitions, it already, as the words used in Aramaic, kalish tamai, it's a very weak taste which is transferred, and we don't care about this taste at all. Okay, so this is the opinion of the Rashba. So if we go according to them, I bought something which says on it kosher, O-U-D-E, or whatever it is, O-K-D-E. I can eat it with milk, with meat. I don't have to wait between meat and milk. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. Lichora, up to now. Okay, this is the way of the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, I brought here also the Shulchan Aruch and the Rama. As I said, we won't read it, we'll just see what the particular halacha. I think I have a diagram. No, I don't have a diagram here. Okay, so Shulchan Aruch, like most of the Rishonim, a parv dish that was cooked or grilled on a clean meat pot can be eaten with milk. That's Shulchan Aruch. The Rama, he preferably goes like Rashi or the Rivan, the first opinion, and with the Eved, he says he goes like the more lenient opinion of the Rashba. Okay, so he says that parv food cooked in a meat pot should not be eaten with milk. Okay, lechatchila, it should not be eaten with milk, but it can be eaten on dairy dishes. Okay, obviously also to the Rama, we do not need to wait 6 hours between this food and other things. Okay, so it says, don't mix it up together with meat or milk. It can be eaten on dishes, on dairy dishes. It can be eaten after milk, after meat, but don't mix it up together. Okay, so according to the Rama, beforehand, he says that the Eved, if it already happened, the translation of Bidi Eved, Bidi Avad means Bidi Avad, if it was happened, okay, if it already happened. Someone mixed it up, okay? He took this pasta, which I cooked in a meat pot, and he sprinkled yellow cheese on it. He already mixed it up, and now he comes to you and says, hey, you learned the class of Kashrut in the kitchen. Can I eat it? After it was mixed up, can it be eaten? And the Rama says, B'di'avad, yes. If it was already mixed up with milk, it can be eaten. So let's take the example of DE, according to the Rama and the Ashkenazim. So I have something which says on it, O-K-D-E, O-U-D-E. Okay, can I eat it now with meat? Okay, can I eat it together with my steak? So according to the Rama, no, you cannot eat it together with the steak. Okay, it can't be eaten together. If already someone put it together, it can be eaten. You can't eat it together, but you can eat it before or after on meat dishes. That's fine. There's no problem of eating it before or after on the dishes, as long as you don't eat it together. Okay. Or another common example: you baked challah. You baked challah, and I think Zach is here, so he baked challah, and then after he baked challah, I realized, oh no, I just baked pizza in my oven just before the challah. Can I eat this challah now together with deli? So together with deli, you can't eat it, but there's no problem at all to eat the challah and then eat deli. Okay, there's no problem at all according to the Rama. The Rama adds here.
Rabbi, can I ask some questions?
Yes, yeah, of course.
Okay, so the first question is about fish. Is it preferable to prepare fish in a melchik or a fleshik pot or a parv pot or a pot set aside just for fish? Does it matter?
Oh, that's a great question, and it brings us to our next topic. Okay, lechatchila or b'diavad. Okay,
Okay.
which means if I want to eat fish, okay, and I know I'm eating it just with fish without any other things, so you can cook it. Doesn't matter in what, in meat, in milk, in parv. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you're eating the fish by itself, so you can cook it in whatever you want. The fish. What if I'm cooking fish and I want to eat it in together with cheese? Okay, I'm Ashkenazi. I like to eat fish with cheese. Can I cook it from the beginning already in a meat pot, okay, in a meat container, and to know, having in mind already that the next day I want to have this fish together with cheese. Okay, or again, if I want to eat the fish or the pasta by itself, I can cook it. Doesn't matter which pot I use. It's fine. But if I know already I will want to eat this pasta or the fish, okay, with meat or milk, does it matter in what I cook it? Okay, so that's a very important question. And that obviously, as we can assume, is an argument. It's an argument. But let's begin from the Shulchan Aruch and the Rama. I have a question. Lechatchila or b'diavad? Okay, lechatchila. B'diavad, as we said, if it was already mixed. What's lechatchila? Since I think everyone here is Ashkenazi, so we'll focus on the Rama. The Rama, as we remembered, I'm going back again, he said, parv food cooked in a meat pot should not be eaten with milk. Okay, so if you have fish that you want to eat it with cheese, don't cook it in a meat pot. Okay, but the Rama adds something, and he says that if the pot hasn't been used for 24 hours, okay, it's permitted lechatchila. It's permitted lechatchila. So if you have this container which wasn't cooked, it wasn't used for meat for 24 hours, lechatchila, it can be used, the fish inside it can be used together with milk, with dairy. And here comes the question, when the Rama says lechatchila, okay, what does he mean lechatchila? And we can think of three options, okay, three options of what b'diavad, lechatchila, and lechatchila. So b'diavad, as we already explained, is if it was already mixed, it can be eaten, but we shouldn't mix it already from the beginning. Okay, that's b'diavad. And for lechatchila, we have two options. One is lechatchila eat, and the second is lechatchila plan. What do I mean lechatchila eat? I have a fish, okay? I cooked it in a parv container. I can take lechatchila, take some cheese, sprinkle it on the fish, and eat it together. Okay, I can lechatchila eat it. There's even a higher level of lechatchila. It's lechatchila plan. I know today is Friday. I know that on Sunday, my children will want to eat pasta with cheese. Can I now plan and take this pot, use it for pasta, and knowing that on Sunday, after Shabbos, my children will want to eat this pasta with cheese. So that's lechatchila plan, and I think that refers to your question. Can I take, do I have to have different dishes do I have to have parv dishes? That's the question. Or can I just use milchik or fleshik, okay, dishes or meat dishes? Do I have to have a special dish for cooking fish or for cooking pasta or other things inside? Or can I just use dairy dishes or meat dishes? Okay, so that is the question, what does lechatchila mean? And again, the Rama says, if the dish wasn't used, if the pot wasn't used for 24 hours, lechatchila we can eat it with milk. And the question is, what level of lechatchila are we talking about? Are we talking about the most extended level of lechatchila? Plan, no problem. Take the pasta, take the fish, cook it in the meat pot, although you know you want to eat it afterwards with milk, or we go one level less and we say, no, if it was already cooked, so now you can take milk and mix it together, but don't purposely cook it and then mix it. So that's the question about the Rama. We have here an argument. We have an argument in the words of the Rama. And here we have all the three options.
Okay, Rabbi, I have another question.
Yeah.
Right? Suppose you have a fleshik pot that you haven't used in a week.
Yeah.
Right? And you make a par of soup in the pot.
Yeah.
Okay? And the soup is left over. And you want to use it after Shabbos, right?
Yeah.
What kind of pot would you have to warm it up in?
Okay, that's also a great question. That actually has a simple answer, Baruch Hashem. So in that we don't have arguments. So that we have a simple answer. We said beforehand the Rama brought. I think I wrote it in English. Let's see. Here, yeah. So you can see in the Rama in the bolded words that the spot can be eaten on dairy dishes. Lechatchila. There's no problem. You can warm it up in whatever dish you want, as long as it wasn't used for.
It wasn't used for a long time, but you could take that soup, which was parov, right, and warm it up in a melchik pot if you're serving it with melchik sandwiches.
Yeah, you can warm it up with melchik pot. There's no problem in that. What about mixing cheese, sprinkling cheese, or adding milk or cream into the soup? Can you do it or not? So if the pot was used in the last 24 hours, so don't do it. Don't mix up milk. If it was already mixed up, as you can see in the first line, if it was already mixed up, you can eat it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't used for 24 hours, then we have an argument in the Rama. Okay, what level of lechatchila do we go? Many poskim, also going to the Shulchan Aruch and also going to the Rama, go the most highest level. Okay, and lechatchila even plan to cook this soup in a meat pot, and afterwards we'll have cheese in it. A question that was here in the community a few weeks ago, someone was making. They have this hand blender that they use it to make soups, and usually it's for par or milk soups. But then by mistake, one week they used it for. It was usually used for par. It's used for par, just for par. Wasn't used for meat, not for milk, and it used to do it with hot soups. Then one week by mistake they used it for meat soups. And here comes the question: can they use this blender again to make parv soups? Okay. Knowing that maybe afterwards I want to eat the soup with cheese, and here according to the Rama, so the answer will be, and the Shulchan Aruch, the answer will be according to most poskim, yes, there's no problem. If this hand blender wasn't used 24 hours, you can use it to mash up the soup, and then although afterwards you will want to eat this soup with milk. So that's the three options we had. Very simple to summarize it up. So here, let's summarize it up before we go to an oven. So what can we do with DE? Let's make it smaller. Okay, what can we do with DE? We can eat on these plates. Okay, there's no problem, as we said. We can eat it after meat, as we said, no problem. We can eat with meat if it was already mixed. Okay, that also there's no problem. And mix and eat with meat, we said there's a difference if this meat pot was used in the last 24 hours or no. If it was used in the last 24 hours, so don't mix it up with milk. If it wasn't used up for the last 24 hours, you can even come and mix it up with milk. Okay, so that's a summary of that. I'll just explain about the oven, and then if there's any questions, so we can ask questions. So next week I said we'll learn about the oven when two things are baked together. Okay, say schnitzel and the fries are baked together in the oven. Here we're talking about one after each other. Okay, one after each other, and one after each other is exactly like what we learned up to now. Not but not, noten tam, two transitions of taste. Okay, and for the answer, the three questions we have here, can answer very simple. Do we need to wait 6 hours? Answer is no. We don't need to wait 6 hours. Like a pot. Can we eat on a dairy dish? The answer is yes, we can eat it on dairy dishes. And can we eat it together with milk? Okay, so the answer will be if it was already mixed up with milk, you can eat it. If it wasn't mixed up with milk, so it depends if we use the oven for the last 24 hours or no. If we use the oven with meat for the last 24 hours, don't mix it together with milk. If we don't use the oven for the last 4 hours, you can mix it up together with milk. So that's this. I hope we covered everything and not too fast. If there's any questions, so great. If you want, I can repeat also some of the topics. And if not, we'll say good night, and meet next week also at 8:20 on Wednesday. And hopefully we'll have a better connection then.
Thank you very much.
Okay, pleasure, Shavua. May you have a good evening and Shabbat Shalom.